Who is Gary Webb and what is his reporting?
Gary Webb is a local Los Angeles born and raised area journalist who uncovered the CIA scheme to traffic cocaine into South Los Angeles, predominantly Black area at the time, and essentially created the crack epidemic, which affected predominantly low income Black people across the United States and really led to the war on drugs, which we are still, in the midst of today. This is a policy that has locked up hundreds of thousands of people, has decimated families, and is something that we continue to invest in. This is something that the CIA has admitted to, that happened. This was literally our government creating a really harmful drug, poisoning entire communities, and we are still very much feeling the effects of it today.
And what years was this happening?
This happened in the 1980s, and it ties into a civil war that was happening in, oh my gosh, Nicaragua. Can I Google that really quick?
Yes.
Was it Nicaragua? No. Okay. I know who it was.
I think it is Nicaragua because doesn't it come down to, doesn't it happen with Iran?
Yes, Contra? It ties into the Iran-Contra affair. This is all Oliver North.
Yeah, so it is. It is Nicaragua.
Yes, this is all the work of Oliver North.
I fell down an Iran-Contra rabbit hole one time.
Sure. I live in that rabbit hole. Yeah, it's a really wild story. The CIA wanted to fund guerrilla warfare against the newly elected socialist leader of Nicaragua. The CIA felt that having socialism in Central America would be really bad for good old American capitalism. So what they decided to do was to sell cocaine in Black communities, teach dealers in these communities how to make crack, which is a much different drug than cocaine. It's much more highly addictive. It does a lot different things to your brain chemistry, and it has really harmful long-term effects when you use it repeatedly, which users often do because it is so addictive. You can become addicted to crack with just one use, which is really, really awful when you think about it. And the CIA sold the cocaine to Freeway Rick Ross, who was sort of, he was larger than life in his time. He's still alive today, but in his time, when he was really at the height of his drug dealing career, he is responsible for, teaching the communities of the United States to, make and distribute crack cocaine. But of course, Freeway Rick wouldn't have done all of that without the explicit assistance of the CIA. Freeway Rick had no access to Colombian cocaine, right? He was just a kid from South Los Angeles. It was really with the explicit help of our federal government that he was able to create his empire. And it was with the help of the government that we got the crack epidemic.
That's incredible. If everyone wants to check out Gary Webb, Google it, find
Code of Silence.
Probably
he's
the Code of Silence.
The book he wrote about it is Code of Silence, and him writing about this is very inspirational to me in the work that I do around police accountability. He wrote about this in the 90s, I believe, and everyone sort of said, "Oh, you're crazy. You're making this all up." It ruined his career.
Girl, the amount of times that I've been like, when someone comes on the show and goes, "Well, this is a conspiracy theory," and I go, "It's not." It's not.
Yeah.
Mal was just like on the show being like, "Well, maybe I don't want to say anything too conspiracy, but maybe Roe v. Wade is, overturned so that they'll have a new workforce for the billionaires." And I was like, "Baby, that's not a conspiracy. That's just true."
That's something that they've said on One American News Network.
Yeah. I was like, any conspiracy bar QAnon, I'm on board with.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not. But people believed that Gary Webb's reporting was a conspiracy up until early 2000s.
Yeah, he ended up killing himself because of, just his life being ruined. I mean, no one, he got divorced after, all of this disparaging started happening. He lost his house.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He was sort of, what is the word I'm looking for? Exiled.
Disgraced.
His paper exiled him to this tiny, tiny bureau in Northern California, where he was just forced to write very nothing stories. His last byline was about the death of a police horse. It was a really sad story.
No wonder he's your hero. Of course. Wow. I mean, so that's kind of the background on which all of this is happening. I mean, this is happening around the same time.
Yes.
And people so it's interesting to see the 80s portrayed as either white people with AIDS or white people on Wall Street. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Tell us your opinions in the comment section below. I love to hear opinions. And for more Bad with Money videos, make sure to like, share, and subscribe using the links below. Come on, tell me how you really feel.